Hello, welcome back to No Man's Sky. I'm NubbQueen. Hope you're having a great day. If not, let's pick up your day by playing some games. We're setting course into the incredible variety of planets waiting to be discovered. No Man's Sky offers mind-blowing planets. They have different biomes, resources, and species for us to discover, each with its own unique story to tell. So let's unpack these planet types today. To see which planet type we are in space, just point directly at the planet and we should be able to see the type of planet. Okay, let's get started because there's a lot to go over. First is the Lush type planets. These are like the most beautiful type, in my opinion anyway. They are Earth-like planets with breathable atmosphere. They can have different biomes like rainy, verdant, tropical, viridescent, paradise, temperate, humid, overgrown, flourishing, grassy, or bountiful. They usually have decent flora and faunas. There are almost always water within these planets. There will always be wildlife on them as well. Other than that, more specialized resources like star bulb, paraffinum, and nitrogen may be found here. Some lush planets can be bioluminescent, which I love. It's so beautiful. Even though these planets can be beautiful and peaceful, there are still harsh weathers that we have to watch out for, like boiling puddles, hot fog. But most of the time, lush planets are considered nice and calm. Moving on to type 2 is the opposite of lush, which is dead planets. That includes the following: dead, empty, desolate, lifeless, forsaken, life incompatible, low atmosphere, airless, terraforming catastrophe, and lastly, abandoned. Dead planets, we can assume they are airless with no life. So there's no species and mostly there are no faunas or floras. Also, there are no building structures, so we can kind of get the hint that there's no one living on these planets. Usually they look like the moon to me, rocky and lack of color, but they are rich in rusted metals. Dead planets will never have any storms or water. If we're going there, make sure to have lots of oxygen, life support gel, dioxide to survive the harsh environment. Type 3 planet is the Marsh. It has names like marshy, swamp, foggy, misty, boggy, tropical, hazy, cloudy, murky, damp, endless morass, vapor, reeking, and quagmire. Make me laugh, sorry. They are like swamps with big fungi type of plants or other toxic like plants as well. Finding specific resources can be challenging due to inconsistency and lack of dedicated resources here. But we can sometimes discover uncommon resources like star bulbs. We might find fishium or mortite to mine. There are a lot of storms here, so hazard protection is suggested to have. Then there are a type of planets called Barren. These planets have biomes like barren, desert, rocky, bleak, parched, abandoned, dusty, desolate, or windswept. These planets are more like desert on Earth, rocky or sandy. Apparently, lots of people think barren types of planets are one of the most ideal planets to live because there are less sentinels on Barren compared to the lush planets. So it will be safer in our day-to-day life. We can find cacti, pyrite, and sulfuring here. The thing is, during the day, barren planets are nice and comfy, as long as there are no heat waves or storm or things like that. But at night, it can get very cold, basically like freezing temperatures. So the environment can change a lot on these planets. Next, we have frozen planets. Queen Elsa's kingdom. Look Earth-like, but the temperature is way low. It can be named like frozen, icy, icebound, arctic, freezing, hymal, glacial, sub-zero, and lastly, Hyperborean. Man, I had to Google this word because I had no idea what this word even is. Hazard protection is always needed on these planets. If we have thermal protection, would be even better. As if it's not already cold enough, frozen planets will encounter freezing storms. That will make the temperature even lower to compete on livable conditions. This is when we hide in caves or any structures we can. If we're looking for dioxide, frost crystals, and radon, frozen planets will be the ones we can find them. Now let's talk about the opposite of frozen planets. We now have scorched planets. Super duper hot planets that has biomes include like scorched, hot, boiling, charred, fiery, scalding, torrid, high temperature, and lastly, incandescent. Man, my English is improving by the minute when I play this game, honestly. Hazard protection and coolant network sigma is very important on these planets, as you can imagine why. Worst of all, here also have extreme storms that can hurt us severely, like 3 times more draining than normal scorched weather already. I sometimes love these scorched planets because of the color on these planets are vibrant. Even though I'm hurting, I will still come and visit from time to time, especially when we're looking for resources like phosphorus, solanium, and sulfurium. Next type of planet is toxic planets. As the name suggested, these are toxic worlds, aka poisonous, acidic, nauseous, acrid, blighted, miasmatic, rotting, corrosive, and caustic. Sometimes we can find water on these planets, but wait, they are not real water. They are more like poisonous toxin that we can't really swim in it. Due to the toxic substance, hazard protection is essential at all times. Upgrading toxin suppressor is highly recommended, especially when we're venturing into the world reeking of extreme toxicity. Resources here are ammonia, fungal mold, nitrogen, and wild plants like jade peas. Just like in Scorched World, while in extremely toxic storms, hazard protection will drain 3 times more quickly. Irradiated planets. Biomes include high energy, radioactive, nuclear, contaminated, isotopic, decaying, nuclear, gamma intensive, high radio source, supercritical. These rocky planets are covered in radioactive gas with mutated flora. Sounds super cool. It just reminds me of Ninja Turtles, to be honest. Hazard protection are necessary. Extreme weather, radioactive storms can erupt, rapidly depleting our suit's energy 3 times faster than normal. So make sure we are always ready to seek shelter when we're on these planets. Despite the harsh conditions, we'll need to come here for uranium, gamma root, and radon. Now, volcanic planets. They almost always seem like a red planet in space. Just like scorched planets are like fiery planets, volcanic planets are more like lava-covered planets. Biomes include lava magma, erupting, volcanic, violent, basalt, ash surround, ash shrouded, ashen, unstable, molten, tectonic, flame ruptured, obsidian bead, imminent core detonation. Sounds super scary. Here we also have extreme heat, so protection is required. Coolant network upgrades are necessary if we're gonna stay here for a long time, or else we would not survive for too long. We can also find water on these planets. Maybe that's why we have the magma or charcoal. What do they make? What does water and lava make? Cobblestone? There are no biome-specific plants on these volcanic planets, but we can find pyrite and sulfurine, as Google say it, and basalt here. Okay, last 2 planets to talk about. bear with me here. Exotic planets. These are planets that are out of this world. And every time I landed on one of these, I feel so surreal because they come with all kinds of unique forms and structures. Some of them have bubbles, floating vases, special lights, even weird-looking plants. Always come with some weird species as well. Usually it'll have some type of special flora. Gold deposits can sometimes be found on these planets, but they will never have water. Alright, last type of planets we will be talking about is called the megaexotic. Megaexotic planets take concept of alien to a whole new level. Imagine all the planets we just talked about mixed together and everything is gigantic. Each megaexotic planets can have different biomes, but their biomes are not like the biomes that we talk about. They can be red, green, or blue, and they each have their own special look for sure. Sometimes these planets are so weird to the point that once we landed here, the whole world kind of like completely black and white, or completely red or green or gray. It seems like we're watching an old TV show. It is so weird. The first time I picked up the anomaly quest, they wanted me to go to one of these planets. And honestly, I thought my monitor was broken. I did not know it was on purpose. It was so odd, which is such a cool concept. Now I understand it. I love it. But still, it's very eerie every time I landed on one of them. As the red, green, blue biomes, each categories will have their own named planets. There are so many, so I'm not gonna point out every single one of them. But for example, the red biome includes Crimson, Lost Red, Wine Dark. And for green biomes, there is Lost Green, Stellar Corruption Detected, Toxic Anomaly, Doomed Jade. And as for blue biomes, that might have Lost Blue, Harsh Blue Globe, Frozen Anomaly, and also Planetary Anomaly. So really depending on which planet we land on, they might be drastically different. The best part about these planets is that we can find any resources in other biomes here, all conveniently supersized for easy collection. So if we need a lot of different resources, a mega exotic world would be an ideal planet to farm all of them at once. And that's all the different types of planet in No Man's Sky. How many did we talk about? 10, I think? Each with unique features and resources. I hope this video is helpful. Just like me, many new players find the variety of planets overwhelming. Hope this clears things up a bit for you and give us a head start on any planet exploration. Please come back for more No Man's Sky video. I'm NubbQueen and I will see you next time. Later!